Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and I wanted to share with you my experience with the Apple Watch Series 3. Now, I've had a Series 1 or the original Series 1, and I'm not a huge fan of the Apple Watch, to be honest, but this one's pretty good. Now, I haven't taken this off my wrist. I will in just a moment. I haven't taken this off my wrist the entire day. You can see it's 9:59. That's 9:59 p.m., and as you can see on the phone, this has been unplugged from the charger and on my wrist since about 6:30 a.m. this morning, and I'm at 75% battery. I've not charged this one bit since then, and that's the most impressive thing to me on this watch. Now, I am not into fitness, as you probably guessed, but this particular watch, I've been using it as a watch. It notifies me of anything going on, of course. I've been using it as a heart rate monitor, and it does a really good job. Let me unlock it, and we'll get into it. So the Apple Watch is unlocked, and it's got the latest update, at least that came out with this Apple Watch. Now, this particular version comes in two different models. You basically, other than the different types that you get with different materials, this is the space gray aluminum, larger 42 millimeter version, and it's just like the other ones. It's a little bit thicker on the back here. They claim 2 sheets of paper thicker on the back here, this ceramic piece that sits against your wrist when it measures your heart rate and has those sensors. It's a little bit thicker. There's some different hole placement, but for the most part, it's very, very similar. It's nice and light like the previous versions, and it does exactly what you expect it to do. It comes in at $329 for the 38 millimeter one, and then goes up in price depending on which one you want to over $1,200 to $1,300 if you want the edition version that's in ceramic. Now, this one is the LTE one, and the way you tell that is this red dot. This red dot indicates that it has a cellular antenna in it, and what they've done is kind of clever. They've put the antenna in the face of the display because they didn't have much more room, and that seems to work for them. So as I switch through watch faces, you'll probably notice that, well, other than right there, most of the time it's very, very fast. It never seems to feel slow to me like the first generation, and sometimes the second generation did. This one is just so much quicker that it's really a pleasure to use. It's no longer in the way and annoying to wait for it to use. So you've got the amazing battery life. Of course, that changes when you use some of the other features, but you've got the amazing battery life if you're not using cellular data all day, which is hard to use, honestly, and you've got speed that you expected that really should have been in the first generation of this watch. Now, of course, it takes years to do that, but let me do something. I haven't loaded music yet, so let's open that and see how long it takes. Things don't seem to take too long to load now, so it says road trip, chill mix, and you'll see as I scroll through here, it's pretty quick, and then it just vibrates when it stops. As I go back and forth, you'll see nice and fast. And then it says, where do you want to play this? On Aaron's AirPods or my Beats Solo. So pretty quick there, and it's really nice to use. So we'll just go back home, go back again, and then we have this button here on the side. We can quickly scroll through the last thing we had. Nice and fast. And it's, again, like I said, it's not in the way. It's nice and fast. Now, I normally use the watch face all the way to the left here that I was using before. And this gives me the most information on my screen at once. And with this particular watch face, if I go here to the heartbeat monitor, I'll go here, you'll see my resting rate. I've been using it all day long for days. You can see that here. And this varies. It's probably a little bit too high, but that's just today. It goes up and down. And it works really well. And I've been monitoring my walking, my activity. You can see the different activity here, 7,400 steps, 4 miles, flights climbed, and it's just not in the way. And that was my biggest complaint with the original one. When I wanted to pay at Starbucks, something like that, it was just slow and it wouldn't open. When I wanted to go into messages, it was slow. But one of the things you can do with this is obviously make phone calls with LTE. And that's pretty clear. And I made my first phone call in the same place I filmed my iPhone 8 Plus review, and let's take a look at that.
For more options.
You missed my first call from the Apple Watch without using my phone. Oh well. Now, with your phone calls, you're only going to get about 1 to 2 hours of usage with the phone calls on this particular device. So if you're using this just as phone calls, maybe you leave your phone at home, you go out for a walk, you'll have plenty of time to get back after you've done a workout, a jog, whatever you're doing, and made a phone call. You'll have plenty of time. It also works really well. I had this down at my waist. People could hear me fine. I called my brother. He heard me fine. And he didn't know I was on the watch until I told him. He noticed something was a little bit different, but he didn't assume it was the watch, which is a really pretty amazing achievement, quite honestly. Now, I'm keeping my finger on the back because it will deactivate and then I'll have to put my password back in. But you can see it's the Series 3, and this is the 42mm band that it came with. And at first, I hated this material. This is the one it came with, and I hated it at first, but now I actually like it. The material has changed a little bit. It's the Sport Loop, and it's changed a little bit. It feels much softer, less like Velcro, like a plasticky Velcro, and much like a very soft fabric. It breathes well. And it came with the one I picked up, but it's something I can use now, and I like it. The other thing with cellular data is you have to pay $10 a month to use this on cellular data. And for some, just like myself, that's going to be too much money for what it does. I don't use it enough on cellular that it makes it worth it. So you can listen to music wirelessly with it, and you can also make phone calls. But the wireless streaming was not available when this first came out. It was available with a beta update. And to release a phone or a watch without a feature included like they did this year is pretty strange, considering this didn't need to come out for maybe another month or two until those features were added. So I'm not sure what the rush was there. Maybe they have some more stuff at the end of the year. They want to get ready. I'm not sure, but it seems kind of odd that they would release this without one of its major features. You will have to pay $10 a month for that LTE, and it's got a 90-day trial on T-Mobile anyway, and it was easy enough to set up. It just went through the setup and said, would you like to use your T-Mobile data, and would you like a trial? Yes, it paired and it worked. That was all there was to it. After the second try, it didn't work right originally. It's also got Siri integrated, and it speaks back now. So let's test that out really quickly. What's the weather this week? The speaker is nice and loud. It's nice and clear. It will not read as much as your phone will with Siri, but it does a pretty good job as far as that goes. You can just zip through here, and it works well. And of course, you can load more apps. That won't open here, but you can load more apps on here, and the most recent ones stay open in the bottom. When you hit this button, when you go back home, and then hit this button, they're your most recent apps. So you can just zip through these nice and quick, and it keeps things loaded so it's nice and fast. So I really don't have anything more to say about the Apple Watch Series 3. I think it's a decent watch. It's really where it needs to be at this point, and hopefully all the features are updated and working properly now. Some people were having all sorts of connectivity issues. One thing to note is if you turn your phone to airplane mode, it's not going to work properly with your messages. You need to have your phone on. You can leave your phone at home, but it needs your phone on to relay some of those messages to your watch. That's something Apple actually mentioned afterward to many different review sites. So if you want to get your different messages from your friends and family, you'll need to have that on. Leave your phone at home, shut it off, go out for a walk or whatever. If you get messages, you'll get the messages here. It just relays them through your Wi-Fi or cellular here to your watch cellular. It's kind of just the way they set it up. So that's it for the watch. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you picked one up, I'd love to hear which one you got and what you think of it. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.